Alleged Pakistan spies have been arrested from Haryana, Punjab and Uttar Pradesh. So this is, of course, as far as these spies are concerned. Let's quickly take you through all of them. Jyoti Malhotra, of course, is a YouTuber from Hisar in Haryana. A friend of hers, Priyanka Senapati, is also being probed. There is also Ghazala from Malerkotla in Punjab, who's alleged to have assisted Pakistan embassy officials. There's Yamin Mohammed from Malerkotla in Punjab. Again, allegation here is assisting Pakistan embassy officials. And over here we have Tareef from New in Haryana, who also helped facilitate Pakistan visa. So the common link in all of this is the Pakistan embassy here in the national capital. And also Noman Ilahi, Haryana in Uttar Pradesh, spied for Pakistan handlers. Shahzad in Moradabad of Uttar Pradesh spied for Pakistan handlers. There's Armaan, again from New in Haryana, who has spied for Pakistan handlers. Devendra Singh is from Kaithal in Haryana. He has spied for Pakistan handlers is the charge, as well as Rakib Khan from Rudki in Uttarakhand, who has also allegedly spied for Pakistan handlers. So if it's not the embassy, there are handlers directly talking to some of these who are alleged to be spies of Pakistan. So very, very serious questions emerging out of this entire spy network that has now been busted across states.
You're watching the News Hour at 10, debate number 1 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
Let's take this across to our guest. Joining us, Yashwardhan Azad is ex-Special Director of IB. We have NK Sood, former RNW officer. Ramneek Maan is a political analyst joining us. Ishkaran Bhandari is a Supreme Court advocate also joining us on the show. Let me start with you first. Yashwardhan Azad, how much does this concern you, given the large number of individuals whose networks have now been busted? And it's not just one state, it's across various states of India, raising some very serious questions as to who really has been undermining India's interests in these very crucial times.
Well, in this particular case, I can see that Jyoti Malhotra's incident is really a very, very unfortunate one, because at this time, which is a very, very delicate time, she's been traveling, she's been to Pahalgam, she's been all over. And what really is absolutely startling is that a person can have such engagements with the Pakistan embassy and conversations and meetings with these officials, and also being facilitated through Pakistan twice and visiting almost every corner. And, you know, what gives her away is, of course, that the numbers she has stored in her mobiles, they're on aliases, they're not in the same year. And all these other people, they are not really innocent or naive, as one would call it. They're all of, you know, they are all adults, they understand what they are doing. But let me tell you, Madhav, that this is an evolving case. You know, the first thing is that only after cross-examinations, detailed more investigation, we'll actually get to know how the plot has really evolved. Because ultimately, the most important thing is what is the kind of information which has really gone across, whether it's in the form of electronic evidence, whether it's in the form of physical evidence. So that is something for which we have to wait. But yes, so far, it's a good job. And in the end, let me say that the kind of dangers that we face by these irresponsible bloggers and so-called social media influencers of putting almost everything on the social media is a real reckless thing. And they should certainly be advised, because today the war is not on the borders with foot soldiers. Today the war is an information war. And the more and more information about your crucial information which you are giving out from here, whether it is about vital installations, whether it is about simple things that the others can pick on, that's a very, very important danger that we face, and we need to look at it.
Absolutely. I think that's a very crucial point, but I want to bring in NK Sood. Mr. NK Sood, is this just the tip of the iceberg that we are looking at? Because, you know, we have a history of Pakistan trying to spy here in India. Several of those rackets have been busted in the past. But does it take something as big as an Operation Sindhu to bring that out in the open?
I think, yes, true. You're true. That this is just the beginning, you know. But I must congratulate our agencies, IB and RAW especially, for breaking this Pakistan spy this case, you know. And especially this lady, Malhotra, she had been traveling to Pakistan a number of times. She had been going to Kartarpur corridor. She went to China, she went to Nepal, she went to Indonesia, all those places, and all those visits were funded by the Pakistan ISI, and she was staying at 5-star hotels, and still she denies that she's innocent. Truly, I agree that she's innocent. She's innocent ISI agent. Prior to that, there was a case of Seema Haider, who had come to India, and at that time Pakistan took a lady from India, Anju, to Pakistan, and similarly, she was taken around all the places, and even her videos made, through drones, So Pakistan, I don't know how ISI behaves. They always try to glamorize their agents, And this is the main reason that this Malhotra has been caught, She has been, because of her glorifying the Pakistan, ISI glorifying her visits and promoting her, And especially, you see, she had been visiting sensitive places. Maybe Absolutely. From the military angle, I don't know whether she had visited those places, but from other points, like David Headley used to visit, So that makes something clear that Pakistan may be trying to target some other places, They must
Absolutely. And in fact, let me just bring in fact, let me bring in fact Ramneek Maan on that. Ramneek Maan, look at the kind of instances and locations that we're talking about. And it's not just the case of Jyoti Malhotra, who in fact visits, Jammu and Kashmir and Pahalgam right after her Pakistan visit, as has been reported. But there's also very sensitive locations. We're talking about Sirsa. We're talking about locations, in Punjab, where we've seen, past incidents as far as trains are concerned, Jalandhar and so on and so forth. So this is a very, very concerted strategy of trying to get at least a recce on the ground, as in fact Mr. Sood seems to be suggesting, in terms of finding out the logistics, finding out, information that perhaps can be used for a future attack.
Good evening, Madhav. Good evening to the fellow panelists. I would say, you see, the thing is that human weaknesses come by a way, whether it is money, lust, fame, power, however you wish to put it. And, as far as Jyoti's case is concerned, like, the Special Director IB said, it's a developing case. And we have to wait for the investigations to conclude, to actually come out with a formal or a final report as to what all she has shared. And the states or the areas or the cities that you're referring to, there are FADs, field ammunition depots, there are Air Force installations in these cities. That can all be compromised. As a matter of fact, she could have been recruited, I'm just saying, could have been recruited, to actually honey trap more people in India, because people fall for fame, and lust is something, it's an utter human weakness. But again, coming to our enemy, we know the enemy. We know the enemy very well. The kind of games they play, we know it all. But my complaint is, it took 26 innocent lives for these agencies to wake up. I mean, Sood Saab was giving the credit. I'm sure the credit is due, because people are started to be taken up, rounded up, arrested, and investigated. But if we start doing this similar exercise in J&K, I think, I'm sorry, but your jails will be full, literally, quite literally. And I think it's an extensive exercise, and it's an exercise that needs to be done across the country. It has to be a very thorough one. Another complaint is that we have good laws, but our justice delivery system is rusted and rotten. Because I haven't seen many people being punished. You will pick somebody up and then they'll get let off.
Okay, will that be different? Will that be different? I think that's a fair concern. Let me quickly bring in Ishkaran on that. Ishkaran, there are telltale signs as far as this particular case of Jyoti Malhotra is concerned. 3 visits to Pakistan, 1 visit to China. Leave aside the other countries that she has visited. This in itself should have been a red flag, is perhaps what Mr. Maan is trying to convey. And as somebody who dabbles a lot on social media yourself, this urgent need to continuously be providing content, somewhere does that drive this greed? And does that blind people to what is right, what is wrong, what is in national interest and what is not?
Madhav, the need to provide content does not mean you become a spy for Pakistan or peddle the agenda of any foreign nation inimical to India, period. But Jyoti Malhotra appears to be the tip of the iceberg. This has been caught out. In fact, there is a tweet floating of some Twitter user saying 6-8 months ago that you should keep an eye on people who go to Pakistan very frequently. And what about all the journalists, Aman Ki Asha gangs who have been going to Pakistan over the years, time after time, frequently, or going to global events sponsored, funded by Pakistan directly or indirectly? They need to be watched out, not just a mere YouTuber, because those people have serious access to various corridors of power. And let us be very clear, we are in the age of information war. Pakistan is waging a total war. You have a Shahid Afridi being honored by the Prime Minister saying you have contributed to the war effort, whereas in India, we want to play cricket with Pakistan. You have a Waqar Yunus saying Rizwan ne Hinduon ke samne namaz padhi thi and he is a commentator, then he will come and apologize. You have Pakistani channels. Indian government took a decision that they will ban certain channels, and those channels are pinning a tweet or pinning it on their YouTube that please Indians use VPN to watch our channels, telling Indians to commit crime against an order of the government when India is at war with Pakistan and VPNs are dodgy. How do they get into your home system, whether they hack you, whether they blackmail you, etc. It all opens up. And this Jyoti Malhotra, whether it's a honey trap, it's a luxury life trap, it's a money trap, but let us be very aware, it is an all-out war where they have many instrumentalities, from their cricketers to their singers, to their actors, to their diplomats. If we are not aware of it, and if we engage very frequently with Pakistan at a personal level, then I will not be very surprised that many more serious cases than Jyoti Malhotra are happening. It is only a matter of time till they are caught.
Okay, very, very interesting point of view that you've put across there. And I want to bring in Mr. Yashovardhan Azad, on that. Whether it's a honey trap, whether it's a money trap, whether it's blackmail, whatever may be the motivation, the fact is that, and we've seen this in the past. We've seen the case of Madhuri Gupta, for instance, how they profiled a person of a certain age, of a certain situation in society, which they took advantage of. Do you see that has happened in this case as well, Yashovardhan Azad?
No, absolutely. When you acquire fame in a very short time, you tend to become very, very vulnerable. And that's why these people are targeted. In the traditional system of spycraft, who are the people who are actually trapped? These are people with different kind of weaknesses. I mean, you can imagine, apart from the espionage part, look at it this way. Pakistan today is an enemy state, whether you like it or not. So any kind of a contact, any kind of a visit, and that visit being facilitated in top 5-star hotels and all these, what should it arouse any kind of, suspicion? I mean, you're either so stupid or you're either their agent. Look at the storage in mobiles of the numbers she has done. These are all aliases. They are not in the right here, which means that you are totally aware of what you are doing. And that's why I said, I'm looking for this case to evolve and looking for actual evidence which can be presented so that these people can be arraigned for what they have, the damage that they have done.
Absolutely. And NK Sood, it's not perhaps the first time that the Pakistan embassy has been involved in such kind of a ring. The larger question then is that how do we ensure that when these individuals try to contact, communicate, engage with other persons, because we're seeing that there's an open event over there. Here you have an individual such as Danish is introducing his family members as video of the kind of, close contacts that these individuals are having. How does one guard against these persons gaining influence? Mr. NK Sood.
We are actually, anyone who is visiting Pakistan embassy, anyone who is sent to Pakistan, who goes to Pakistan embassy, he is put on hold. IB keeps a regular watch on the person. And one interesting thing I would like to tell you, that this lady Jyoti, she had gone to Nepal also. And Nepal is a very big, Nepal has a very big ISI, there's a very big network of ISI operating in Nepal. And you see most of the attacks that were carried out in India, whether it is parliament attack, whether it is IC-814 attack, they were all carried out from Nepal. So that is the aspect I think our agencies will be looking after, that what was the purpose of her going to Nepal, And you see, it's very difficult for us to keep watch on the people who are visiting Pakistan embassy. But in the case of this lady, she went to Pakistan embassy, and after that she had been on continuous watch of RAW and IB people, and they were regularly keeping watch on her activities, and especially when she went to Kartarpur corridor. You see, Pakistan opened Kartarpur corridor for a purpose, to tap Sikh militancy, Sikh militants or Khalistanis. And she goes there. Especially, you know, when the Kartarpur corridor was opened, Pakistan had invited 3 Indian cricket players, Gavaskar, Kapil Dev and Sidhu. Gavaskar and Kapil Dev refused, but Sidhu went there. And Sidhu went there and he said that he met Imran Khan. He never met Imran Khan. But he met Pakistan Army Chief and Pakistan ISA Chief. Later on, Sidhu also met the Khalistani leader. So they were trying to cultivate Sidhu also. I don't know to what extent they succeeded in that. But this lady going to Kartarpur corridor is also an issue that has to be considered. And I'm sure our agencies must be looking into that. And most important is her visit to Nepal, because Nepal is epicenter of ISI activities.
Okay. Let me bring in. In fact, okay, Ishkaran, you're nodding your head. You want to respond to what's being stated there?
Madhav, just one point. Anybody traveling to Pakistan, we know it's a state controlled by Army, ISI. They are into businesses. Are you sure the hotel room you stay in, the bathroom you go into, doesn't have cameras and that does not make you susceptible to blackmail? They are waging a total war. It is silly to believe you can go to Pakistan without their trying to, in some way or the other, get some hold or the other on you. A simple question, camera in the room, you can't detect it. It's that microscopic these days. Yet people are going there, and those who are going there frequently, I believe definitely need to be watched out for.
Okay. And Ramneek Bhan, is it time to carry out an audit of all those who have recently visited Pakistan? Do you think that is the order of the day? Because, you know, there's all sorts of things. It's not just this issue of being close to certain staffers.
Oh, yes.
There's even been a commission for visa scam that has been exposed over the last 48 hours.
Oh, yes, absolutely, Madhav. You are spot on right. As a matter of fact, these are the precise words that I had in my mind. You see, Jyoti's got caught because she was frequently traveling to either Nepal or China or Pakistan, and her visits to the Pakistan embassy and her links with certain people in Pakistan via this character Danish. They are all on video, and that's how we know. And there is documentary, let's say, video evidence to that effect. How about those people who've been visiting without posting any videos on social media? So I think we have to have a certain matrix which would, red flag or highlight such people who travel frequently to enemy countries or who have their, mobile phones or their numbers frequently contacting people in enemy countries. So that is one thing I think, should also be taken into consideration, because who actually is a spy? Getting hold of these people from your own society is very difficult. The man or the girl next door could well be a spy for an enemy country, and you would never know it the whole life. So these are the sorts of things, which happen but again, we have options. We can suspend their passports. We can put their passports on hold. We can put them on a no-fly list. We can actually scan and scrutinize people. But I think for that we would need special provisions in law which do not allow us to do what we are discussing now. And therefore, the chances of Jyoti Malhotra's being born and, such like people would be much, much larger, much higher. As a matter of fact, the case I point about a diplomat. How about the politicians? How about the journalists who travel to Pakistan frequently? How about those diplomats who are posted and stationed in Pakistan for a very long time?
Well, the only thing is that journalists and diplomats will perhaps say that this is part of the conduct of the official duties, but nevertheless, Ishkaran, you want to comment on that? How strong are our laws to deal with those who are actually misusing their positions of privilege?
The problem is internal threats are always more significant than external. Once again, internal threats. It's a question to me, Madhav?
Yes, Ishkaran, go ahead.
Internal threats are as serious, if not more serious. The internal threats are as serious, if not more serious, than the threat from Pakistan. Take another example. Today, an OCI card was cancelled. It should have been cancelled. If you're indulging in anti-India activities, you have no business having the privilege of an OCI card, coming to India, being an anti-India agent, God knows getting funded where, from whom, living in a foreign country. Yet we will have an outrage if a government takes a step as basic as suspending your OCI card, which is not a matter of right for you.
Okay.
So we need to be firm. In a democracy, certain steps are difficult, especially on your own citizens. But anybody who comes under radar, there are ample powers with police, there are ample powers under various laws, where if you are under radar, the government has sufficient means to act on it. Only thing is, as a society, we have to understand that there is a reason we need to take these steps on people acting at the behest of foreign powers.
Well, India is one. I think the message is loud and clear. India is one. There may be a few persons, whether for money or for some other reasons, who may be able to sell their integrity. But certainly the message has to go out to all these individuals that it's not business as usual, that there will be a cost to pay if they do betray their motherland. Ishran Bhandari, Ramneek Maan, NK Sood and Yashwardhan Azad, I'd like to thank all of you for joining us on this debate.